Today we're doing another reaction video to music that I wrote when I was in high school. Last time we looked at Symphony No. 1 in C minor, and the time before that we looked at some piano pieces as well as my masterwork, Have My Saliva Is a Thing That Gnarlfeld Lincoln Said, a poem by Jordan Holloway. So we're going to continue to try and keep it fresh by looking at different kinds of pieces, and so today we're going to look at a piece called String Quartet No. 4. This is another instance where literally all of the string quartets that I wrote in high school I no longer consider to be real. And so it's kind of humorous that at the time of doing this I happen to actively be writing my actual String Quartet No. 4, which is hopefully a lot better than this one. This was a piece that I actually wrote specifically for the string quartet that I was in high school. I remember this is one of the last ones that we played together, and we never performed it, but we did rehearse it a couple of times. And by the way, all the pieces that we looked at in the previous videos are from 2014. This is actually from 2016, so we'll see how much I've improved in that time span, but yeah, don't get your hopes up. Okay, so you can see very clearly at the beginning here, we have this lovely paragraph. The intent of this is that the whole quartet would recite this out loud simultaneously before playing the piece. But there's a key thing here where, oh God, dialogue boxes. This word right here, which I'm not sure how I wanted it pronounced, but when we get to this word, each member of the quartet picks a different word to say. So one person says the actual thing, which I guess Terake, who knows? But then everyone else would say a different word, such as floor mop. So before the music starts, all the quartet reads, "You're marching off to war when your path is cut short by a tall mountain. Suddenly, the Earth God, Autumn Leaves by Duke Ellington, swoops down from the sky, taking the form of a giant lion made of rocks. He rips the mountain in half, allowing your army to pass through. You continue to march, knowing that you will soon meet your opponent," which I just really love the idea that you're marching off to war and your path is cut short by a tall mountain. Like, you didn't know the mountain would be there, like in advance of marching off to war. Pretty strange. But it has character. It has a distinctive character. I like the staccato things in the violins rather. Okay. It's a lot of 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars. So that's still a prevailing feature. The dynamics, I will say, though, are a lot better marked. Still weird. So what are these 8th rests doing floating down here? Yeah, there's some weird dynamics, like the mezzo pianos right there seem kind of random. But it's not nearly as bad. I'm gonna pause there. Yeah, so it's like, again, lots of cells of 4 bars, but what's kind of interesting is it's like alternating basic chord progressions with like these weird like moments of dissonance. Like this is a stack of half steps right here, but that's interlaced between like just these really typical C minor chord progressions. Even when there are like sort of the more like 1-4-5-1 type things, I don't know, it's not necessarily that. There's some 6s and 3s and whatnot, but when the more basic stuff happens, it still does maintain the character, which I do appreciate. The dissonance stuff is kind of funny though, because I remember like really wanting to make my harmonic language more interesting, but having no idea of like how to go about that. And so every time I used dissonance, I felt like I was using it for the sake of using it, not because any particular set of notes felt the best to use. I think particularly in this like stretch right here, there's some interesting chords being formed as a result of that, but I can definitely tell in some spots that it's dissonance for the sake of dissonance. Again, this is a stack of half steps, which nothing wrong with that. It's just like I didn't know how to do other stuff. The drawback of this section that is a little bit more genuinely exploratory is that they are all whole notes. It's just a bunch of whole notes. And the melody doesn't really change that much either. Not that it really needs to. I don't know. The stuff right here, the big like unisons at 45, those are pretty cool. That's a cool idea of having the triad go to the whole like unison thing. Let's listen to that again. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty strong. This is really bizarre. I think it's another moment of like dissonance for the sake of it, because there's a lot of tritones in there and like weird stuff. But then you'll get this very normal C minor thing. Oh my goodness, what's gonna happen here? Ah! If only there was more interesting harmony here. That's a cool like line. Cool melodic line. And then it just happens again with a harmony on it. 5 1 5 5 1. Goddamn. And there's a slow section. Yeah, it gets like kind of boring again here, like at 59. But then it like goes off into this crazy thing. It's still just 1 4 5 1, which I should say I have nothing against 1 4 5 1. It's just that my music is riddled with it. My earlier music. I mean, I still use 1 4 5 1 sometimes. It's a nice set of chords. It works for a reason, but it should not be all over the place in the manner that it is in my like high school music. Let's listen to that ending slow section. Mezzo forte there is very weird, but again, for the most part, the dynamics are better. I like how long that stayed on the C minor chord while the first violin kind of did its thing. There needs to be some articulations. I feel like a strength of this movement has been articulations, and they need to be present here. The more lyrical stuff. That's cool. I should have done more stuff like this. It was pretty cool. Nice. Nice. That's a good ending, I think. The emotional character of this is very, very strange. Like, it's clearly about like some kind of big like fantasy battle, or like an impending battle, I guess. So it's like sort of dark, but then it has these things all over the place that just like feel sarcastic. Like this stuff right here is so weird. I don't think it was entirely my intent to make it feel sarcastic though, but certainly the paragraph at the beginning is trying to make this not take itself too seriously, which I don't know. I think I was just like self-conscious about doing like weirder harmony shit and was like, oh no, see you guys, it's just a joke. See my funny paragraph at the beginning. I don't know if that's true. That's my that's my guess. We're not gonna listen to any other part of this. I think I get way more lazy. We get more paragraphs. So an immense amount of bloodshed has just occurred. Corpses decorate a barren field of arrows. You've lost the battle and you are observing the remains of a cursed battlefield. Jesus. There's 3 movements, I think. Wiggle string. I don't know. Death encroaches. Oh my god. Death encroaches. That became like an inside joke. I forgot that this... Maybe it's not where it originated from. But these are 3 very softly passionate notes. That's good to know. That's good to know. This is ridiculous. Nighttime minuet. We're going to be okay. That's so nice. See, some of these are like actually like helpful. Like breathe. Like, yeah. Oh, breathe. Appassionata. Sure. That's... Tons of vibrato on this note. Something about having an expressive marking in all caps is really, really funny. Oh my lord. Does it end? Less breath, more vigor and tears. Nostalgia consumes the soul. I genuinely didn't know. God, this is quite the system right there. Is that it? That's all the expression markings? Oh my god. I have a feeling this is going to be some bland harmony. That's a good tune. That's not bad. I bet I repeat it like 800 times. Well, repeat it at least once. But yeah, I mean, this is just stretches and stretches of accompaniment stuff. I mean, this would be just hell to play as anyone other than the first violin. That's important. Don't just give your melody stuff to the high person. you gotta diversify the parts. Okay, now we're gonna look at a different piece. Still for string quartet. It's very, very different from this one, but still written for that same quartet. But the purpose of it was to be something that we could play at weddings. So it's pretty much entirely centered around that. Okay, we had to do a quick XML export because for some reason the playback wasn't working in Finale. So we are now in Sibelius. And I think it's actually worked mostly well. But all right, so let's oh god. Let's talk about what this piece is. So it's called String Quartet Number 5, Matrimony. My whole quartet called it Mardimony because there was a typo in the first print of it. It's a 4-movement deal, and the reason this piece sticks out in my memory is because there's this one intermezzo movement. It's the 3rd movement of it. That was my first attempt at writing anything even slightly jazzy, and I'm using the word jazzy very, very liberally. But as a matter of fact, now that I've skimmed the score, I actually also want to... Why do I keep doing that? I also want to listen to the 2nd movement because I remember this being good, and I hope it still is. That says Arco. It's cute. It's a good tune. Da, 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 da. Yeah, this is a good tune. It's a good tune. And everyone gets the melody. That's... We learned something here. Also, I was concerned about these 3 8-bars that I would have been using them in a stupid way, but I think this makes sense. Having because I want to truncate the last, like the end of the phrase, and then move immediately into the next one. That works really well. Yeah, little tonicization of the 5 chord there. That's some good stuff. Also, the tune is not necessarily developed, but it is... Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, and then it just ends normally. Let's see what the 2nd ending sounds like. I was gonna say the tune is not necessarily developed, but it is long. It's longer than a lot of the other ones. There's like 2 melodic ideas. I guess there's also this like B minor thing here. Also, the dynamics are looking a lot better in this one. A pizzicato ending, it looks like. That's cute. I like that. Okay, now let's listen to the fake jazz. It's swung. So that's, you know, it's gonna be good. Okay. It's kind of... It at least stays with the same, like, vibe for a while. Like, it really establishes itself. Okay. Wow. This is really something. I'm gonna just let it go. And back to the... Yep, okay. Well, some 12-bar blues there for you. Okay, never mind. I started having all these opinions about this, and then the large-scale form of this sort of threw it out the window. Yeah, it's the same, like, sort of intro music, and then it goes to the next movement, which is really funny. I start on an E minor 7 chord here. It's very, very adventurous. I think I overestimated the amount of pitch you can actually hear in pizzicato in like a string quartet. You're mostly gonna hear the timbre of it. You'll hear like the cello certainly, but like big chords like this don't work as well as the VSTs, the software would lead you to believe. Especially if you were like playing this outdoors, you would not really be able to hear much of the pitch. So yeah, it is just sort of the same thing over again in a bunch of different keys. At least it's not 1-4-5-1 a billion different times. It's a lot of 2-5-1, which, you know what, I prefer that. The swung vibe of it is kind of fun too. It's not a terrible execution, but it's not good. And then it just like without warning turns into 12-bar blues. It's a good tune though. I do like, I'll play this again. I like this tune. I think those glissandi were meant to be something else. Yeah, I like the tune a lot, but I just like, it's so incomprehensible how it just immediately changes to 12-bar blues. Yeah, anyway. Well, it's more stylistically exploratory. Even if I fell into the same traps of repetition and whatnot, I was at least trying to add to my vocabulary. Those are two very odd pieces. Some of the earlier stuff that we have looked at in other videos was more basic, like nothing music, almost, if that makes sense. Like there wasn't any striking character or like musical features. I don't know, maybe that's not fair, but like these two definitely have a much more distinctive character than the like 2014 stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think even though it took me a really long time to actually expand my harmonic vocabulary in like a meaningful way, I think I did make a lot of progress in high school in terms of just making the music have a particular character. Like all the stuff that we looked at in this video is weird as hell, but like at least it has a distinctive character, at least much more so than the stuff I was writing a year prior. So I think that's something at least. Thanks so much for watching this video. I've really been enjoying looking at these older pieces. They've been laying dormant as finale files in a backup drive of mine, so I'm glad that they're seeing some sunlight, even if it is to make fun of them. That's fine. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Leave a like and subscribe if you want. It's always much appreciated, and I will see you all next time.